What's up, everybody? Had a couple technical difficulties. Sorry, we're trying to get everything up and running here. We got booted off of YouTube before even starting. So thank you, AI overlords. That's great. So we're just going to roll with Facebook rather than kicking everybody off and making you get back on. So hope everybody's having a good Thursday afternoon. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and good to be back on here with you guys. We got our beer of the day. We got a Paulner, good German Hefeweizen. We're gonna crack that open, get it started. Go ahead and throw your comments up there. I gotta figure out my chat. There's chat. All right. Throw your comments up there, stuff you want to talk about. This is your time to ask whatever questions you have, and I will do my best to answer them. Make sure you give the video a like, a share, send it to your friends. We'll have some fun. We got a lot to talk about today. We've been busy. Let's see. It's because you have guns in your background. No, actually, it is because the pre-roll or whatever you call it on him. The video we played before had guns in it, and so they kicked that off. Yeah, they're wonderful. Let's see. So who we got on? Juan, of course. Juan, you said first, but somebody shows a comment. 1/1000th of a. Is that? No, 1/100th of a second before yours. No, that's 1 second. Sorry, that's hours, minutes, seconds. Sorry, guys, my brain ain't working. All right. Could you explain the dwell setting in detail for the new Billet Gen 3, please? I know What the Tech did it for Forged. Well, actually, What the Tech has videos for both Forged and Billet, and it goes through it in great detail, much more than I can do right here. So, which is also a really good time to plug the knowledge base. In addition to our YouTube channel, which has a ton of good content and such in terms of help. If you're looking for something, if you go on our website, wolverineairsoft.com, find the knowledge base. I forget which tab it's under, but it's easy to find. There is a searchable database of tons and tons of stuff there. It even includes some stuff which we don't publish on our outward-facing advertising channels. Stuff like a question we have gotten here in the past was, can you run Wraith with the drop stock? And I said no, because that's not how I designed it to work. However, the tech guys did find a way to make it work. So if you want to learn how to do that, it's a little bit janky because it wasn't really designed to work that way, but it actually works pretty well. It's not too janky, just a little bit janky. So go ahead and if you want to see something like that, there's an article on it in the knowledge base that will show you how to do it. So lots of other stuff. And if there's something else you want to know how to do, you can always send us a message and we can get a knowledge base article up for you. Post. Juan says, congrats on winning best HPA engine for the 4th time. Yeah, we got that guy right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2024 edition. I think this is the 2024. So thank you to Popular Airsoft and all you guys that voted for us. Hopefully I didn't just blind everybody in the camera. But yeah, super excited about that. 4th time for the Inferno Gen 2 Best HPA Airsoft engine. So yeah, is it from IWA? No, it's not from IWA. We can get Paulner around here, actually. Does the Gen 12 have proprietary mags? If yes, can you make M4 mag adapter that comes with it? Okay, so it does have proprietary mags. It will work with standard 308 mags, but it does have the proprietary correct great big mags. And one of the reasons we did that was to give game or field owners and game organizers options in terms of enforcement, kind of like they do with other guns that can be kind of OP if you just let people like if you want to run a support gun. Okay, it actually has to be a support gun running a box mag. You can't just stick 300 round high or mid caps in an M4 and call it a support gun and run full auto, right? So giving the right mags is something you can say, hey, if you want to run this shotgun, you have to actually use the right mags, for the event. So you can't just pack on, 20, 300 round M4 mid caps and just blast away to your heart's content. So anyway, speaking of which, you guys should all go bug AMS if you're in the US. They just updated their shotgun rule, I think, or I just saw it for the first time. I'm not sure which. And tell them you want it to allow the Gen 12 to be used at their events, because right now the way they have it written would not allow that, which is we're talking with them trying to get it to get them to adjust the rules, but make sure you make your voice heard, because you're the customers, and at some point they'll listen to you guys. Let's see, concave or flat nubs, both work. I think nubs are overrated if you ask me, but both can work extremely well. Do we have an official release date for the 308? Asking for a friend who is also named Juan and also shares the same mailing address. We don't have an official release date yet, other than that it is very soon. We have some already boxed and getting ready to go out, so you'll hear something very soon. Again, I think because we started selling at IWA, I think most of the first run is going to different places in Europe, so it'll be a while till you see them in the US one, your US base. But do have 308 right here, so I'll show you guys that. Turned out gorgeous. Really, really happy with this. So lots of different features on here. We did shoot a quick overview video, which hasn't gone up yet, but will at some point. But obviously, full CNC machined receiver set, as you guys can see, like all of our MTW based or MTW spec platforms. Turned out really pretty. Proper 308 dimensions. I've seen a couple of comments. People say, "Oh, how's it? It's just a different." I don't even know what they said. A different upper or something. The whole receiver is. I don't know how you figure that's going to work, but the whole receiver, upper and lower, is different. It's proper 308 dimensions. Takes standard 308 mags and all that kind of stuff. You can see here at the back, you have the fixed rear airline connector. We're calling it the FRAC, fixed rear airline connector. So one of the things that it does a few things for you. One, it gives you easier one-handed connection of your airline, so it makes it easier to manipulate the gun. Two, it does that without getting in the way of, like, if you have a fixed airline down at the bottom of the grip and you're trying to go prone or something because it's a DMR platform, then you will get into trouble trying to get down low at the grip there. So up here doesn't get in your way, and you're good to go there. So has all that, but it does maintain toolless disassembly. So if you take the gun, you want to separate upper and lower receiver. You just you pop your pins and then push this button right here at the back on the FRAC, and it will release the airline, and you can just pull it apart. Right. If this is not your cup of tea, it's not a big deal. You can run the airline out the grip, just like you would on any other gun. It's just swap the airline over, and you can run it that way, no big deal. But we really like this. I'm going to get some feedback from you guys before potentially thinking about implementing it on some other models as well in the future. But I want to have you guys tell us what you think of it and see whether you like it for the future. And then let's see. I don't know whether and of course it's an MTW spec platform, so it fits with like your MTW air stocks, all that kind of stuff will work on here as well. Different hardpoint adapter just because of the length of the upper receiver, but that's that's a relatively minor difference. It is semi only goes into 2 positions. If you hang on, we're going to try to be fancy here, see if it works. Well, sort of. Well, I gotta find it. You can see it just says safe and semi. The selector switch won't go into the auto position. The electronics are full auto capable if you replace the mechanical selector switch there, so that it will go into select fire. Sorry, can't see what I'm doing. So anyway, really good looking gun, really happy with it. Let me know your thoughts. And nobody has, let me make sure. Nobody has mentioned something that is on here that isn't going to come stock on the gun. But we'll see if you guys notice. I'll give you guys a few minutes. See whether you guys can pick up what is on here, because we're going to talk about that, which is one of the really cool announcements for today. Let's see. Sorry, I got to scroll. A bunch of comments. Whoa. Holy cow, guys. Give me a second. Update on the Gen 12 shotgun. It was shown shooting 8 BBs. It's not adjusted. It is 8 BBs per shot. We may release other versions of the internals at some point that have different BB counts, but it is just set at 8 BBs. Airsoft team part of currently has 15 plus members running MTWs. Would you guys be interested in some social media content or be able to supply some patches? You can contact the marketing team, and I mean all your MTWs should have come with patches, but just reach out to us, and that's not really my call at this point. Other people make those decisions. I would love some creme brulee. Creme brulee is one of my favorites, but unfortunately you're out in Arizona and I'm here, so that doesn't work too well. But enjoy your creme brulee. Why have you discontinued the Arrow? Do you sell the Wraith regulator separately? The Arrow we sell a different version of an air stock. It's the Wraith X air stock. It's just it serves the same purpose. It's just designed differently, and there was no point in carrying both that and the original Arrow stock. So the Wraith X has the ability to be run that way. Check it out. It's no worries. Let's see. We are not planning to do the 308 with the Reaper engine. You want to mess with it and swap engines around, it'll work just like any of the modular systems for the MTW, but it'll come with the Gen 2 Inferno just like normal. Because no, it won't necessarily be cheaper overall. It wouldn't really end up being cheaper for the customer. Partly because some of the components on that, the valve in particular on those, is insanely expensive for us. And it's just, in terms of creating a quality product that's consistent every time, having one engine that we put in guns from the factory helps us produce a more consistent, higher quality product. Will the Gen 12 be up for pre-order on the Wolverine website? I don't know. And I don't know when exactly. Making a lot of progress on the shotgun, which is sitting back here. We are currently working on a pilot batch of 20 guns just to test out all the final details and make sure everything's ready before we send it to production. But it is right there, and it's looking quite beautiful. Ooh, this actually has the production spec engine in it. So we did get the batch of production, first batch of engines in, small batch, and we're testing those out, and so far they've been performing great. So more details on the Havoc engine. Why go with TDC versus the current rotary hop-up? Because the hop-up is just part of the engine, and just in terms of packaging it, it's what made sense. It's the easiest way to access the hop-up, basically, is a TDC. It has nothing to do with precision. It's a shotgun. We're not really trying to get it to hop super precisely. We're trying to, like, get it to send cloud of bees downrange. It just had to do with what was easiest to make fit, or not easiest, most convenient to make fit inside the receiver so that you could access it. And it was one of the cool things about how the design worked out. This is me being kind of nerdy about design stuff, but if you look at how Genesis Arms has actually designed their shotgun, the way the airsoft version ends up being designed is very similar in that the receiver on the shotgun is just kind of a frame around all the functional parts. It just kind of it floats around all the functional parts, and then the shotgun engine is basically a self-contained unit that has the engine, the hop-up, and the barrel all attached to it. And then you have this bushing. Again, the real thing is a short recoil operated shotgun. So the outer barrel actually rides in a bushing up at the front and is able to slide. So ours actually is very similar. The barrel on ours doesn't slide, but it still fits in this sort of bushing that's mounted to the rail. So this is like the rail is actually kind of a structural part of the front part of the gun. So very similar construction to the real version, which is kind of fun. Again, maybe it doesn't matter to anybody else, but to me, it was really cool designing it to be able to do that. When could we see things in stock? Store Heretic, different versions, separate uppers for purchase, BTS, MTW mags. Well, funny you should mention Heretic, different versions. Hang on, have we found anybody yet with the whoa, can we please cooperate, computer? Nobody has caught up on what is different about this gun. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I'll tell you in a minute. Sorry. Finding my spot. So funny you should mention things about Heretic Labs. Something just went live. Two things actually just went live on our website today, just a couple hours ago. I already got some orders in for them. One of them is the updated version of the Article 1. So just some cosmetic updates. And then I'll talk about what those are in just a minute. And then the other is the Article 2. So the Article 2 is available, ready to ship right now. Already got some orders in, like we said, going to be getting those out fairly soon. Cosmetically, full blackout. Picatinny adapter at the back, blacked out engine with the Heretic Labs logo up there at the front, and then it comes pre-installed with the Heretic Labs tank grip here at the back. So 7-inch outer barrel, so longer than the Article 1. This is your classic sort of paintball style heretical form factor. So really excited to get these out to you guys. You had a lot of requests for this. Still has all the standard stuff you expect from the Article 1, the speed trigger, skeletonized receiver set, all that kind of stuff. But these are ready to go. One of my favorite details, I don't know whether anybody else appreciates stuff like this, but one of my favorite little details on these guns is we wanted to keep the exterior super clean, just in terms of having it all sort of blacked out. So we actually moved all the engraving for the name and the serial number inside at an angle. So we actually designed a jig that lets us laser engrave these at an angle. So once the gun's all together, you have this super clean, sort of blacked out look. So the Article 1 and the Article 2 of the new version get the updated CNTC feed tube design as well on the upper receivers. I don't forget anything. Yeah, I think that's about it. So really good stuff. Yeah, really happy about these. So hopefully you will start seeing those in stock here pretty soon. Some dealers get some orders in, and we have gotten some requests, and we've put the Picatinny adapter you see featured on there. We have put that up on the website for purchase as well if you want to buy that, and put it on if it's again any standard MTW platform. It can be put on an AG as well if you want to trim down the tailpiece. You can do that as well. Let's see. Any changes on the 308 from what we saw at IWA? Not really. Not that you would notice. All right. Okay, so here's the hidden in plain sight thing. This, and I want to be clear, this will not come stock on the 308. We just put it on here to demo for the video. But this is the first time we're talking about this publicly. This is a integrated battery grip for the MTW. So inside, inside, you can see we have a pair of CR123 batteries. There is an integrated boost circuit because the battery voltage is from two CR123s is lower than your standard mini LiPo. All the electronics are designed to run on. So there's a boost circuit, so you get stable voltage output from there. And you have an integrated, find it on the screen, there we go, on-off switch on the bottom. So you can turn power to the gun off, turn it on. Now, this is a product that I am super excited about for a number of reasons. This is one of those kind of little things that it's like, just improves the overall user experience a lot, I think, because one, you don't have to mess with mini LiPos anymore. You don't have to mess with charging them, dealing with that. You can get CR123s anywhere. Obviously, it's a lot cheaper if you order them online or something. But if you're in a pinch, you can pick them up at Walmart. You can pick them up at a drugstore. Do whatever you want. And yeah, super convenient, super easy to deal with, and just overall makes it like low hassle, right? You can just show up. A lot of people have CR123s for their flashlights anyway, or other types of accessories. So keep a spare set on you in your bag, and you're good to go. The other thing that's super cool about this, integrating it into the MTW product line, is that one, you can turn the gun off so that you don't have to worry about opening it up to unplug your battery, and so that you don't, leave your battery plugged in and end up killing your LiPo. You just easily turn it off, so you save the battery. The most CR123s are a lot higher capacity than a standard mini LiPo that everybody uses anyway, so it'll last a really long time, and hopefully last way longer because you can just turn it off easily. But then, in addition, which maybe you guys have not thought about yet, in terms of going into programming mode, it's now the easiest thing in the world to go into programming mode with the Spartan electronics, right? Because you have the gun in semi. Okay, we're on. Turn the gun off, hold the trigger down, flip the switch on, and now I'm in programming mode. I can do my programming, set my dwell, set my rate of fire, flip the switch off, switch it back on, and then we're ready to go again. So it's very, very convenient, very user-friendly. Again, it just matches sort of our strategy with product design, which is to eliminate customer pain points and eliminate things that get in the way of you having fun playing airsoft, because that's what we all want to do, right? So just gives you a very convenient way to power your guns without any hassle. I don't know, I've not gotten comments in a few minutes, so somebody send me a comment. Just I don't know whether I'm still on or whether they kicked me off here, or whether I lost my signal. Now, one comment with this is that you do need to move the airline somewhere other than through the grip to run this. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. So works great with the frac if you're going to run that, which is what we have on this platform. If you want to run a CO2 stock or an air stock, works great with that. Or if you just want to run your airline out underneath the buffer tube, that's fine. But with the batteries in the grip, you can't run your airline down through the grip. That's where your batteries are stored. So this is just one of those little things that I think will be a huge, just sort of life improvement for people using the product. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. It is really nicely molded, glass-filled nylon, texture. Uses the same door actually off of our tank grip. So that just gives you, door helps with installation, but it also makes it so that if you're running a gun with a premium FCU, it's a snug fit, but you can actually get the premium FCU in the grip, and you can access it opening up the door. It does not have room for a tiny LiPo unless you remove the battery tray. So the battery tray slides in the bottom. I'm not going to disassemble it right now. Sorry. Need a drink. Getting a dry throat. But the battery tray slides in the bottom. If you remove the battery tray, there's plenty of room for a LiPo in there. No issue. But with the battery tray installed, it does not work. Will the battery grip support rechargeable CR123s? So we're still testing this a bit, but so far we have had really good success with CR123 rechargeables. These are really cool. They're integrated. You just plug them into a micro USB. I don't believe for a minute that they're 2,800 milliamp hours, but either way, these are rechargeable CR123s, and no, there are a whole bunch of variations of this. So I'm hesitating to say that it just works across the board. But so far, it seems like it works well with the rechargeable ones we've tried. Will there be a limited edition of the 308? I don't know. Maybe at some point. We don't have immediate plans for a limited edition of the 308. We have to get the standard version out first. When do we think see the integrated battery grip go live? We have a test batch of them that we're getting ready to send out for a bit more field testing. But other than that, it shouldn't be too long before you see that go live. Hopefully pretty soon here, as long as we don't run into any issues. Is this going to be something you can add onto your existing MTW? Yes, you can. Again, the caveat being you have to move the airline somewhere other than out the grip. So you can run it out underneath the buffer tube, which there's multiple ways to do. You can use the frac here, or you can use a Wraith stock. But you can't run the airline through the grip with the battery grip installed. Tried to make that possible, but it just ended up making the grip too clunky and such. Really wanted something that's correct dimensions, and really happy with how the ergonomics worked out. 308 uses a standard nozzle. Conversion kit for the 308. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you saying if you have an existing MTW? Oh my goodness. Sorry, my computer is freaking out and will not let me scroll up to see comments. There we go. Thank you. Will there be an edition of the 308? No plans for a Wraith edition of the 308 MTW. If you're talking about like the Billet Unleashed, there may at some point be an Unleashed trim of the 308. It kind of makes sense. It's a DMR, but again, it's a brand new product. We have to get the base gun out first and see how that does, and then we'll decide at that point if we want to do different versions. But right now it's the tactical version you see here. Let's see. Speaking of Billet Unleashed, just FYI, we are temporarily out of stock of those. We ordered tanks. They didn't get delivered. We had to find an alternate supplier for tanks, so we're waiting on them to come in. Should be soon, and should be back in stock pretty soon. But that's basically what happened there. The supplier did not deliver on time, so we're doing that. Let's see. All right. I want to jump back to the shotgun real quick and talk about one other thing here. So I'm going to put this bad boy up. Come on. Oh, all righty. So wanted to talk just real quickly about sort of the design philosophy, if you will, for the shotgun. Like, why did we make it? What role is it supposed to fill? I think there's a little bit of a misconception that like the idea with this is for like CQB basically. I mean, while you could run a shotgun in CQB, obviously, that's not really the point. What we wanted to do with this was to create a whole new element to the gameplay, where you have this sort of what a shotgun should be, right? A mid to short range element that has a little bit of area effect and a lot of firepower. But just like a shotgun, that you can't just, go blasting away forever because, any real shotgun, the shells are big. They take up a lot of space. And that big mag, from for the Gen 12, that holds 10 rounds. That's 10 trigger pulls or, about 1 second on full auto. So we were trying to create sort of like my thought on this was sort of how tag-in grenades opened up a new realm of airplay, a different role within gameplay. That's what we're looking to do with this. So it's, it's not, if it, honestly, if you're playing CQB and you're shooting somebody at, 5 feet, you can shoot them with something that's just, a 7-inch MTW or a handgun just as well as you can a shotgun. The real effectiveness of this comes when you get a little bit of range. We say outside, about 20 feet to about 100, 120 feet is optimum range for this. You can get a little bit of spread. So you get a little bit of area effect there, actually get some use out of the shotgun element, and it's highly effective in that range. But, you're also going to get, if this is, if you're, let's say you're playing a milsim event and you're running a full squad of shotguns, well, you're going to get wrecked at range, right? Because it's not intended to accurately hit targets at 200 feet, right? That's just not what it's designed to do. And you're going to get wrecked at range. Whereas if you run it on a squad with, your rifleman and your machine gunner and 1 or 2 shotgunners, dude, you're gonna have an awesome time, right? It's gonna work super well in that role, where you can have different people fill the different roles. So that's sort of the that's sort of the thought here. So I'm not really looking to. There are fields that are too tight that I wouldn't want people playing with something like this. Just like I wouldn't want people playing with their guns on full auto, right, in a super tight CQB environment. And there are some indoor fields that it would be perfectly fine on because they're a little more spread out. You got a little bit of range. That's going to be up to the field field owner and event organizer. Our goal is to work with them. So if you own a field and you have questions about how this works, how you would enforce the rules, just reach out to us. We're actually going to be sitting down, plans to sit down here at some point with some different event organizers and field owners and help standardize sort of a set of rules, because there are various shotguns coming out. And that's, it will add a really fun dimension to gameplay if you guys, if the game, the rule, people that write the rule sets will add it in properly. You'll add a whole new dimension to gameplay that will be super cool, because you've never really had game effective shotguns. You had something that shot 3 BBs, which isn't really a shotgun, or it uses like shells that it ejects the shells. Okay, it shoots a bunch of BBs and it acts like a shotgun, but nobody wants to go collect those shells afterwards. So this is something that's mag fed. So it is game effective. It is a shotgun. It works like a shotgun in a game. And yeah, it'll add just a whole new element and be, as long as you're, you're smart about how you do it, it'll add a really fun element to play. I think that will, that would just enhance the game. And just even indoor fields, like saw that N1 out in California, they, with the Gen 12 coming out, it's like they're starting a whole new gameplay style, basically, that's basically intended for scattergun play, right? So it's another way for customers to have fun and enjoy the game of airsoft that we all love so much. So really excited about these. We are making a ton of progress on these. Bear with us. This is a big project from the technology standpoint. It's a whole new engine, the Havoc engine. It's a whole new receiver set and all that kind of stuff as well. Magazines, we're working on mags. So bear with us, but we're making a ton of progress on this, and you will hear updates on that in the not too distant future. Excuse me. I don't know if I forgot anything on that. Check my notes here. Yeah. So again, talk to your event organizers. talk to your event organizers, talk to your field owners, and tell them to reach out to us. We make ourselves very accessible, and we're happy to work with field owners. Oh, I've still got my overhead going, looking down my beard here. But we'll help them figure out how they can write the rule set so that people can play safely and have fun. And it really is about overall enhancing the game and making it, because I mean, who hasn't wanted to run a shotgun, right? It's kind of like who everybody wants to, at some point has thought it would be cool to run an actual shotgun that works like a shotgun, right? Just like everybody thinks it's it would be like if you could actually make a bolt action gun that was effective at 400 feet, right, in airsoft without killing somebody. Like that would add a bolt action does have some advantage and all depending on how you write the rule set, but like if you could actually make something that had effectively double the range of double the useful range of everybody else, it would add a whole new dimension to gameplay, right? And that would be super cool. Well, this is a shotgun, right? And it actually works like a shotgun and will add a different dimension to gameplay. And so that's something I think we all want. If we want the sport to continue growing, you got to be, responsible with it. Like all this stuff. If you're an idiot, then obviously people can get hurt no matter what you're shooting. So got to be smart. But we plan to work with people to make the rules make sense, and hopefully move things forward rather than backwards. Let's see. Zach wants us to make a dedicated AK platform. You're definitely not the first person to ask. It's a big project, but yeah. I mean, as you can see, we're working on lots of stuff. So hopefully we will be able to continue to innovate and come out with more and more options in the future. But it takes time. We're a small company. We don't have an army of overseas workers to put stuff together with. All our guns get built right over there, so we gotta take things one at a time. We can only take on so many projects at one time. A couple mag capacity questions. PTS 308, only 35 BBs. I don't know what you're reading. The PTS EPM LR mags are like 150 BBs or something. Mag capacity for the Gen 12. The mag capacity is 150 BBs. That is one of the things that we did because, you might ask, well, why, you've got this massive magazine. Can't you make that like a 400 round mid cap? Sure, you could. But again, we wanted to give field owners and event organizers tools to make a reasonable rule set. So, if you're firing a shot, if you're running the Gen 12 in real life, you get like 10 rounds per mag compared to like a 30 round, a 30 round mag for everybody else. So if it's going to act like a shotgun, you should be fairly limited in how many trigger pulls you get out of it. You shouldn't be able to just blast away indefinitely. So we made it 150 BBs, and that way, if your field is big and you let people run full auto anyway, and you say, hey, run whatever mags you want, okay, they can run, run standard like 308 mid caps, and pack more mags on and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to make it more restrictive, the event organizer can say, hey, you have to run the Gen 12 mags if you're going to run the Gen 12, because it nerfs it a little bit, right? It makes it so it's still a very effective shotgun, but you can't just blast away. You have to pick your targets, kind of like you would with a real shotgun. So that's why we did that. Oh, empty. Sorry. I hope we're getting the Gen 12 to Germany. Mark, I hope so too. We are working on that. So far, it seems fairly positive, but in terms of how the German government will interpret what it does, as semi versus full auto? I said it's a difficult question, and we probably won't know until we send one for F-Stamp. Anything you can share about the release of an MTW 9, MTW 308, MPTS, MTW mags? MTW 9 is it is coming, a re-release of the MTW 9. We showed it at EWA. You can go check that video if you want. We're kind of going to try to squeeze that in depending on when we have production capacity, is more or less where that's going to fall. We have all the parts. It's not too distant in the future, but we're going to kind of squeeze it in when we have some production capacity to get it done. MTW 308, I said earlier, is getting very close to starting to ship, but it takes time. The world's a big place, and we ship product all over the world. So just because I say it's getting ready to release doesn't mean it's going to be at your retailer in the next few weeks, right? It might be a few months. We have one batch that is getting ready to start going out here soon. And then we have another batch that's scheduled for like June timeframe that will start shipping. So we're working on it. And PTS, MTW mags, I don't want to get into that because I don't know the details. We're working on it, but are struggling to get enough that we can supply aftermarket and not just have enough to go with the guns that we make. So that's about as much as I'm going to say about that. So I apologize. We are doing our best. Way more work than should have has gone into magazines, so I'll tell you that. Mike says, small but awesome. We appreciate everything you do. I absolutely love my MTW. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you guys. It's because of you guys that we can do the awesome stuff we do. Any news when the frac will be available? I don't remember. I don't have that on my cheat sheet, and I am not sure. I think the plan is to try to get it out on the 308 first before we sell it aftermarket. But I'm not 100% positive. Sorry, I don't remember that off the top of my head. If you get 2 Gen 12s, then you'll have 300 rounds to work with. Yeah. Any news on? Would it either take a 14mm negative tracer or a 30mm tracer unit for the Gen 12? No. No, it won't. Because it has correctly sized threads up at the front here, and they are a unique thread. However, we are working with, and I don't want to promise this because we don't know yet, but we are working with Ace Tech to try to get an insert, tracer insert that will fit right inside of the flash hider, just like that, so you can maintain the stock look of the gun and have tracer functionality. So that's what we're working on. So you guys, if you when you get one, you'd be able to get the tracer then if you want to run a tracer. So that's the thought. Haven't gotten a sample in yet to see if it all works out as expected. But that is the strategy there. So you guys will not have to mess up the look of the gun in order to run a tracer. Oh, sorry. Have you guys found a box mag that isn't trash? I wish I could say yes to that. Box mags are rough, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like one of my biggest hesitations about considering making a words are hard. A support weapon platform is engineering the box mag and manufacturing the box mag and getting it to not cost $500 for a freaking box mag and yet have it be reliable and function well. So some are better than others, but I've yet to see one that I'm like actually really really thrilled with. Pricing for the 308 is you should be able to find it at some dealers that are starting to list them. But I will tell you it is sub $900. which is less than most people have been expecting. So, which makes me happy. It always makes me happy if I can deliver something that is less than what people are expecting will cost. So, yeah, CNC the gears. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. I got 308 pre-ordered. Thanks for all the hard work and amazing products. Thank you, Ben. Sounds cool, though super excited for the Gen 12. If you make a box mag, you might as well make an LMG. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, that's my biggest holdup with making an LMG. One, the receivers would be difficult. You could find a way around that, but box mags, I've been burnt so many times with magazines, period. I don't even want to think about trying to design a box mag. Mags are tough because if we're being honest, nobody, pretty much, a customer does not appreciate, it doesn't care about the mag until something goes wrong with it, and then it sucks. So like you can design the best mag ever, and all it is good enough. It like does its job. It doesn't suck, and that's not easy to do. But anything goes wrong, and the mag sucks, and the whole like it's just yeah. There's no like there's not much reward for making good mags. So anyway, all right. Well, I think we're gonna about wrap it up today. I don't know whether I got through my notes. I actually got through more or less everything on my notes, and we have been at this almost an hour, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you guys for hopping on. I had fun. I should have asked you at the beginning, but you can throw up in the comments here. What events should I go to? Not our company. I'm trying to get to 2 to 3 events this year to play personally, and just have some fun out there and stay in the game, if you will. So you tell me, throw up in the comments here as I'm signing off or after the fact. What event should I go show up at? I am actually going to be at Dark Emergency. I should have mentioned this earlier. I'm going to be at Dark Emergency. I don't think I'm going to get to play at that event, but I am going to be there. Come find me. Come say hello. Probably be hanging out in the vendor area. I honestly don't know what to expect from that event. I've never been, so I'm going to be figuring it out. But look for a post. I'll post up where I'm planning to hang out once I get there and know what the layout is. So I will be there, but I'm trying to find some events to get to just to play and enjoy the game. So you tell me what events I should go check out this year. Thank you guys. We appreciate you all, and we will see you guys next time.